In celebration of Juneteenth, the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum is putting their copy of the Emancipation Proclamation on display. It's on display in the library building, which is free to the public. The Emancipation Proclamation allowed the U.S. Armed Forces to begin issuing freedoms as they conquered territory. Having the document on display is an opportunity to remind people of the history they may not have learned in school.
This document is really the spark that, of course, sets off the turn of events that ultimately will become the 13th Amendment, which ends enslavement here in the United States. But we hope people will learn about this history, that they'll take some of that with them, and maybe it'll help them make better informed choices here in the future.
The document will be on display for the rest of June.